All right, welcome to the channel. This is going to be my opinion, my review of Agatha All Along, episode number 5, which I just got access to anyways. It's 9 o'clock Eastern time, and that's when they're supposed to release that stuff. So just up front, what do I think of this episode? I guess it's if you've been enjoying the other episodes, you'll like this because it's just more of the same. Um, Maybe a little bit of better than some of the other episodes, but I'm still not getting this series. It's not. I'm just more or less watching these episodes to give reviews. If I wasn't doing that, I probably would not be watching it because I don't find it that compelling. Anyways, spoiler alert, I'll be talking about the episode, and it will contain spoilers. Um, the acting is not bad in it. I'll give them that much. The visuals look okay. There's a sequence where they fly. It's supposed to be like flying on brooms, but it's just sticks that they picked up, or logs, or whatever you want to call it, branches. That kind of looks a bit on the cheap side. Um, it does not look believable at all. But anyways, other than that, the road and everything else looks relatively good. So, episode starts. We're down on the road. We see a bunch of animals appear, and they change into whatever this thing is here. It's supposed to be one of the Salem Seven. Uh, I looked. I had no idea what that meant. I just saw they were in episode 1, so I did a little bit of googling, and this is a totally new iteration of the Salem Seven because they don't look like this in the comics, and they're not like this in the comics. So um, something new. Anyways, they're supposed to be chasing Agatha, and just scooting through here. Oh yeah, this is the witches on the brooms, which is kind of ridiculous. But anyways, they're supposed to be out to get Agatha. They're supposedly the children of the her mother's covenant of witches, who Agatha all killed when she stole their power. These are the children of these witches, and they've formed up their own, coven to go after Agatha. Okay. Anyways, they appear on the road. The one older witch that's in this group that Agatha's convinced to come along senses they're coming, and so they all have to run away. And they do sort of see one of the witches appear, so the young guy that's with them, uh, decides that they should make brooms, so they just pick up branches, which is horrible. Anyways, they pick up branches, say some spell that apparently they all know, and turn the branches into a broom that they can be that well, it doesn't actually change into the broom. It just allows them to ride them if they hand them to the other person. So everybody makes one. The Asian witch gives one to the young boy, um, and off they go. And you see them at one point. I kind of laughed when I saw it, but anyways, they go up in the air instead of just into this picture. They're sort of following the path. They sort of go up above the trees and go in front of this blood moon, which is just basically a moon that's orange. But it's like the scene from E.T. So there's lots of goofy stuff that I guess they put in these shows to try to make them interesting to you. Anyways, they eventually get pulled back down because they're not supposed to leave the road, and all this crap that they're going through. Anyways, they come down, crash basically, and then they're right near a house, so they all run into this house. And when they shut the door, then, as has happened in every other episode that's been released, they are like trapped in there, and the whoever is the wardrobe person, they get to do their rendition of what sleepover wear would be in, well, I'm not sure what decade, supposed to be 80s or something. And it's typical what Hollywood thinks that represents what people would wear, and it's not. It's just kind of stupid. But anyways, they're in the house. It's got shelves with games and stuff like that on it. So this is all in towards the sleepover thing. So they decide, well, we have to do the trial. Whose is it? And Audrey Plaza's creepy character, which is basically what she's pulling off in the show, says it's Agatha's. So box falls off a shelf and it's got a Ouija board, and they figure, okay, that's what we have to do. We have to run the Ouija board, and everybody's watches start counting down when they get the Ouija board out. So they go through the process of doing the Ouija thing, and one of the things is nobody can let go of the little plate that they shove across the Ouija board, or else it allows a ghost to appear or something, or a spirit is released. So the Ouija board tells them what has to happen is Agatha has to be punished. And at some point when they're doing it, somebody accidentally lets go, or this, I don't know, there's a name for it, but the little thing that they're pushing around jerks, and one of the witches takes their hands off. And next thing you know, Agatha's mother appears in ghost form, and Agatha gets transformed into some kind of weird creature. Not weird creature, spirit, anyways, possessed by her mother or whatever. So the other witches suddenly figure out that yeah, we can punish Agatha, and they're starting to get into it. But Audrey Plaza's character suddenly, no, no, you can't do it. After wanting to actually, a few minutes earlier, just wanting to stab her, suddenly, no, we can't leave her, because they determined that maybe the best thing to do would be to leave Agatha for her mother, the ghost, and just keep going. Because that's what Agatha's ghosty mother says. Leave her with me. So, anyways, the ghost repossesses Agatha again, who's it's a bit on the ridiculous side. But anyways, the Asian witch suddenly comes out, and she's must have her powers back because she shoots some orange fire towards Agatha to um, basically, I guess, to get rid of the mother's ghost, which she successfully does. And then Agatha suddenly does what Agatha is more or less suspected to wanting to do all along, is she starts absorbing the Asian witch's powers. And eventually she basically sucks the Asian woman dry, and the Asian woman's dead, or whatever they are planning for her character on the show, but she looks kind of all shrunken in. And why these people had determined that Agatha would do anything else other than that. She seems to show some kind of regret at doing it, but ultimately, that's what Agatha is. So, uh, the young guy, he on the Ouija board, there's a goodbye, so he moves a little plate over to goodbye, and that he asks it, who is this, and it says it's Billy. Not Billy. I don't know. It's the name of the I think it's supposed to be Agatha's son's name, or anyways, in the show there seems to be debate whether this kid that's been in the show is Agatha's kid or Scarlet Witch's kid. Something like Billy Cricket or something like that. Which there is actually a character who's a warlock in the comics, but this kid doesn't really match up to that or whatever. So again, you're supposed to know all this stuff, I guess, to enjoy it, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. But anyways, the kid gets a little bit upset because Agatha doesn't seem too concerned that she killed the Asian witch, and Billy, or the kid, the boy, was getting along with her. So he's upset. But anyways, they all take off and they start running away. And then the boys chasing Agatha, saying, "You don't care. You don't give a crap. You're just doing what we thought all along, trying to steal people's powers and hurt them." And so Agatha, you know, you have a sympathy for about a second, and they keep wanting to push that sympathy bit in the show, like the series in the show. There's one part where, when it's addressed that she's killed lots of people because they're not sure which ghost is going to show up, because she's killed so many people. But they sort of always want to blame the mother or something else. It's never her fault. Although at one point the mother's ghost said that Agatha was born evil and she should have killed her when she gave birth to her. So, we're supposed to feel sorry for Agatha that her mother said that, which is when it's probably the truth. So, at that point, Agatha's like, we're just going to keep going. And the uh, young guy, it focuses on his hands, and he's starting to do the finger thing that Scarlet Witch does, and you see sort of a blue light appear in his palms. And then the other two witches, their eyes are blue, and they grab Agatha, drag her off, and then toss her off the road into the soft stuff, and she basically disappears into the quicksand. And then, um, again, the young guy is waving his hands around, and then the other two witches, who I don't know why he would do this, they haven't been necessarily mean to him or anything like that. In fact, they've been good to him most of the time. So, anyways, he does a gesture with his hand, and they zip over into the goo and sink into the quicksand. And then right at the end of the episode, it pans back on him, and you can kind of see on his head. It doesn't show the full shot, but you can kind of see that he has kind of a crown, somewhat similar to um, Scarlet Witch's in her WandaVision show. So I'm not sure what that uh, is supposed to be. Um, Agatha has said to him, you were, when he says he doesn't want to hurt people, she says, "Are you sure?" Being kind of the insulting person she is. And then, "You remind me of your mother," which is, I guess they're saying that this is Wanda Maximoff's kid, because when he's in the house, he's got like a headband, which is very close to what he had in the WandaVision show, from what I remember, the little of it I remember. Anyways, that's episode 5. That leaves 6, 7, 8, and 9 left, and two witches for her to kill off and steal their powers. If you don't include Audrey Plaza's character, who just is just weird the entire show. She does kind of a cackling laugh or whatever. Like, I don't know what she's trying to convey. Her character is supposed to be death, because she always, every time that somebody mentions death, they do a close up of her. Now, they give her character name, but she's supposed to be, I believe, death. So, and she's supposed to wanted to kill Agatha, and then Agatha talked her into it until she's got her full power, so it'll be more fun when they fight each other. And it's kind of, I don't know where that's going. But so all in all, the episode is somewhat entertaining. It's, again, it's not, the whole show is not very good, in my opinion. Again, my opinion. You may differ. You may think it's better, but I don't enjoy uh, Kathleen Hans, or whatever her name is, character. Um, I feel like none of the characters you feel any sympathy for or you actually even care about. So when they die, it's like, yeah, whatever, got what they deserved. So I guess really the only reason I'm watching this is to give a bit of a review. Otherwise, I'd stop watching it. But maybe with this episode to see what happens to the young boy and the crown on his head, what it's supposed to be. Um, I think if he's supposed to be who he is kind of a warlock, and he's becomes part of the Young Avengers, which we've never seen up to this point, which is why they don't do that as a series or a show or a movie. It would be far more interesting than this stuff because this is not particularly interesting. I don't know what the end point is going to be unless they bring back the Scarlet Witch or something. At the end, Agatha gets her powers back. So then what do you do? There won't be a series two of the show, I don't think. They're not going to do a Agatha movie. So do you have her appear in some, season five MCU project with Scarlet Witch again? Scarlet Witch was supposed to be killed, so okay. You got the multiverse; they can reappear at any time. There's no consequences to. There's nobody actually, as people say, there's nobody actually ever dies in the MCU because of the multiverse. Uh, so that's it. Final thoughts. It's not a bad episode, but as based on the other ones that I've watched, it's along the same quality, maybe a little bit better. It's still just not a subject. Don't care about any of the people in the show. Don't care about the subject. Don't care about the witchcraft stuff. Don't care at all. So, you know, the show, when it's over, that's it. Never watch it again. No reason to. No interest in watching it again. Don't, again, like I said, the Agatha character can go away, and I don't care about that either. So, yeah, it's uh, it's just, it's just, half the time it's pretty boring. But anyways, yeah, this is Audrey Plaza being creepy, and where I don't know where it's gonna go, but yeah, it's not not really anything that is of interest to me, and so if you want to see it, it's totally up to you. But yeah, it's I don't really think it's a very good product. Okay.